So the whole family's coming over for Thanksgiving. You want to have a charcuterie board ready, but you don't know where to start. You've come to the right place. I'm Christine, I'm your charcuterie friend, and I'm going to show you, start to finish, how to create an elegant yet simple charcuterie board that everybody is going to love. I'm going to go through all the ingredients you're going to need to make it, and then we're going to make it together in this video step by step to show you how you can easily assemble a charcuterie board that's going to impress all of your family and friends. So let's get started. First, let's talk about ingredients. A charcuterie board is going to include a variety of cured meats, cheeses, nuts, fruits, and all the accompaniments to make many, many delicious bites. So for this Thanksgiving charcuterie board, I've selected a variety of ingredients that is going to look pretty for the Thanksgiving theme, and it's really going to have those Thanksgiving flavors that are all going to blend very well together. So let's go over the ingredients first. I'm going to start with the meats. Variety is your friend when it comes to charcuterie boards. That way you have something that everybody likes and they can create different flavor combinations. I really like this. This is a Columbus Meats Charcuterie Trio. It has an Italian dry salami, peppered salami, and a calabrese salami. I can find this at almost any grocery store in my small town, so I bet you can find it around yours too. And you get a variety of flavors in one package, so highly recommend this. Let's talk cheeses. I chose 5 cheeses ranging from soft to hard to offer great variety for your charcuterie board. These are popular cheeses that everybody's going to love, so even grandma's going to find something she loves on your board. First, we're going to start with soft cheeses. I have this Boursin. This is shallot and chive. They have several different flavors. This flavor goes really well. It's one of my favorites, so that's why I chose that. And then this is a Wensleydale. This is kind of a sweet cheese. It's an English cheese. It's soft and crumbly with just a hint of sweetness, and this has cranberry in it. It's going to go great with your cranberry sauce and your turkey. Next, we're going to go with the smoked Gouda. This is like a semi-soft cheese. It's not an aged Gouda that's crumbly. This is soft and it has a really great smoky finish. Manchego is probably the most popular cheese I serve. Most people, when they have it, say, oh my gosh, I love that cheese. This is a Spanish semi-aged cheese. It's aged for at least 3 months. It's going to be great on our. Last but not least, I like to add a little bit of a flavor, a little bit of an exciting cheese. Cheddars often come in some really interesting flavors. This one I chose, this is a truffle cheddar. I love the flavor of truffle. It's a savory, like very umami taste. This is from Fiscalani Farmstead. They're a small cheese maker out of Northern California. This can be found in most grocery stores or on their website. This is going to be a great savory cheese for our charcuterie board. We've got the big stuff out of the way. Let's go over the extras. We're going to have a variety of fruit, nuts, and something briny. For the something briny, I chose these Queen olives. They're nice and big and beautiful. Then we need some nuts, some crunch. We're going to go with pecans and walnuts, very versatile, very meaty cheeses, or meaty nuts that hold up to those cheeses. And then a fun little flavor. We have these rosemary and sea salt cashews. These have a really, really great flavor as well and pair really well with a lot of these cheeses. For fruits, we're going to go with red grapes, of course. Every good charcuterie board has grapes. These blackberries look really great. And then also some dried apricot. They are a staple on charcuterie boards, and I love this color for fall boards. And next, for finishing touches, all of the sweet extras, you have to have a spread or a jam. We're going to go with a bowl of fig jam today, very versatile, and again, another charcuterie board staple. And then I like to add what I call the makeup for the boards, which is fresh herbs. You'll probably have a lot on hand for Thanksgiving if you're cooking your turkey. So today, I'll just show you some of my favorite choices. We're going to go with some bay leaves, some thyme, some sage, and then rosemary, of course. You can use any of these, you can use all of these. You'll see at the end how these are really going to jazz up your board. Don't forget crackers or bread. I like this Toasted Brands cracker. This is a Harvest Wheat, very versatile, but you can get creative here and use what you have. French bread is another great option. Flatbread crackers are also very popular. I'm just keeping it simple today, and we're going to go with these Toasted Harvest Wheat. Alrighty, we've got all of our ingredients gathered, so let's go and step by step follow me while I show you how to put together this board. Let's get started with my 6-step process for the perfect charcuterie board. You're going to start by lining your board with butcher paper. I like to use a food safe paper you can find near the Ziploc bags in your grocery store. Next, we're going to start, I like to go with my big fruits and dishes first. There's a few different reasons for that. First of all, when you're beginning your board, you need to create a structure to build everything else around. Now, something to keep in mind when you're placing these items is symmetry. Visually, you want these things across from each other. They're good on the eye, and it's easier for eating. I'm always thinking about how people are going to eat the charcuterie board when I'm creating it. So you like grapes on each side so that everybody can access them easily. Now, grapes I like to cut in small bunches so that they are easy to grab. Nobody is wrestling with a big bunch of grapes on your boards. The next up, you're going to put your dishes down. Now, I always keep my olives in a dish. As you know, they are very briny. This flavor can leak onto other items on your charcuterie board. And if you have a guest who doesn't like olives, that is not going to taste yummy. I like to do my cheeses next. Here, I place the boursin. I just leave it right in the round. Make sure you take your foil off. That is a pro tip. If you leave your foil on your boursin, it doesn't look good and it's hard to eat. We're placing the manchego in this zipper pattern. I'll have a tutorial video coming up on how to style that. Next up, we're going with this Wensleydale. I cut that brick into a triangle. Place it right there. You'll put a knife right next to it and it'll be really easy for your guest to just grab a chunk off of that. The next cheese I'm placing on our board is that smoked Gouda. I cut these into about 1/2 ounce slices. These are cute little wedges. We're going to make a little half moon shape here by stacking them. Make sure you touch the tips together and then they will stack perfectly in this semicircle shape. And isn't that just so pretty? I really love the orange hue on this cheese here. The truffle cheddar is coming on last, and we just put these into bite-sized slices, and we're placing them down along the board, just kind of overlapping them on half. We're going to go right down the middle with these. It's going to serve as like a visual separator, and also it's easy to access from all angles of the board. So just stack these little cuties up. I used about 3 ounces of this cheese. And next up for the charcuterie, remember that trio I showed you? I'm going to show you a few different ways to style this. We're going to make what I call a salami chain. We're going to take each individual slice and fold it in half, what I call hot dog style. Overlap them so they're just the middle centers are, or stack them so the middle centers are overlapped, and then you're going to fold the sides in to give it a little salami hug. You'll repeat this by pieces, and then you have this cute chain that you can place in between your 2 cheeses here. I like to make sure there's enough to kind of fill it out. You can see there's some open space here, so I'm going to come in and add a couple more slices. That's going to keep it nice and tight and looking pretty. When I'm placing my salami, I always like to make sure to have it near a cheese. I never place cheese by cheese or charcuterie by charcuterie on my boards. I like people to be able to explore their flavors very easily, and I want the board to be beautiful and easy to eat. Next, we're going to do a cute little salami chain with this peppered salami. We're going to do just those hot dog folds again. Fold it in half, make a little shark fin to fold it in half again, and then stack those atop each other. And you see how cute that looks? You're going to just put that in the little spaces in between some cheese and some olives, cheese and some grapes. Right here, we're going in between these 2 cheeses again. And when I am planning the charcuterie, I like to, again, we talked about variety, but also quantity. So I plan 1 to 1.5 ounces of charcuterie per person. That depends on what other food you're serving, the type of guests you have. You know, your guests possibly might like more meat or might be more hungry. You're coming from a big event, or maybe you're planning a big dinner afterwards and you don't want to have a lot of food left over. In that case, I would serve a smaller portion of charcuterie and cheese. Here we're making those salami cute little roses. Again, we're going to do that half fold and then just roll up 4 pieces into a rose shape. If you tuck it between 2 solid surfaces, remember this outline we made, they will stay beautiful and they look cute up there in your top left corner. We're going in with the rest of our salami with just a couple more folds. And this is just to add more substance to the board and put it by the fruit and cheese here. As you can see, our board is filling up. And these folds are super easy. I think I'll do a longer tutorial showing you a little bit more about those, but they're super easy ways to serve the salami on your boards instead of just laying it out. Spend a couple extra minutes and give it that elegant look with these pretty folds. Next up, we are going to go in with our nuts and our small fruits. I consider small fruits the dried fruits, the berries, the strawberries, and fill them in. I like to place the nuts first. Those are a good underlay for your fruits. Also, I like our boards to look really full. That's how you get the professional look on your charcuterie board, is if there's no blank space. So putting the nuts down first is visually good for your eye, and then you can stack other items on top of it. I always like to add a little bit extra flavor where I can. Flavored nuts are a great way to do that. For the holidays, I really like this rosemary and sea salt. It pairs well with all of your holiday recipes. And you can see our board is filling up here. Make sure you sprinkle the nuts in a variety of places near the meats or cheeses you might like people to enjoy with them. Next, I'm adding the blackberries. You can see those are nice and plump. Make sure you wash your fruit. A little tip from me. I like to wash my blackberries, all of my berries, in baking soda. I soak them in baking soda and water and then give them a good rinse, and they'll be fresh for your boards. Next up, crackers. I only put the crackers on the board if I am serving it right away. For my orders in my business and all other occasions, I always serve the crackers on the side. For this video, we're going to put them right on the board because you're getting ready to serve guests. I like to leave the crackers on the outside of the board. As you know, if you've ever made a charcuterie bite, most people are going to grab a cracker first and then go in for their meat and cheese. If you have the crackers on the outside, that just makes it a lot easier to eat. So we're just tucking some in all over on all sides here so that your guests can easily grab them. And I like to make sure to keep them away from the wet fruits. Now we could be done, but here's the makeup, the part I was talking about in the beginning to make it a little bit something special. This is a beautiful board, but it's going to be even more beautiful once we add our pretty extras. So here we are with our herbs, and I call these the makeup of the board for a reason. The board is beautiful on its own, but these fresh herbs just add a great touch of flavor and color. As you can see, just popping that bay leaf on and in here with the little sage leaves, that just gives it such a bright and fresh pop. And it's going to give a very fragrant addition to your board, so it's win-win. And I personally love eating fresh herbs with my cheese and charcuterie. Rosemary can be kind of tricky. Sometimes you can get big stems. I just like to break them into smaller stems, tuck them away. I always tuck the bottom woody piece underneath some nuts or some fruit so that just the green is poking out and giving this great and beautiful accent. Now this is your chance to get creative. Go through your fridge and see what you have or what fresh herbs you have in the garden and add those to the board. Something I'd like to note is please only use edible items on your charcuterie board. I will never use a grocery store or a flower shop flour, particularly baby's breath. These are often sprayed with pesticides and that can cross-contaminate your food, and you most definitely don't want to get anybody sick with your charcuterie board. So being mindful of that, add any fresh herbs or vegetables you have, and you have a beautiful charcuterie board. You can also add some chocolates. I like to have a little something sweet at the end, and isn't she just lovely? You have it, friends. Now you have this cute charcuterie board to impress your friends and family with. I hope this tutorial was easy for you. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you have happy snacking. Please follow along for more charcuterie tips and tricks, and I will see you next time.